absolutely gorgeous day for getting out on the bike. And finally, the leggings or bib tights are left in the house, and the whitest legs in cycling are finally getting an airing. So it's probably a good job that most car drivers around here are wearing sunglasses today. We go out on our bikes for many reasons, and all of them should be enjoyable. Riding your favourite cafe, riding with friends, riding to an event that you've been looking forward to for ages, that kind of thing. But sometimes you have to do what I'm doing today. And it feels a little bit masochistic, really. With my 4-day event coming up, with plenty of tough hills to climb, I need to get more climbing in these legs. So I'm out on a jaunt with the sole purpose of seeking out hills and going up them, which I wouldn't put into the category of enjoyable, but it is necessary, or I probably won't enjoy the 4-day event as much, so I guess there's a connection there. Whenever I do a ride, starting from home, there's always a hill almost immediately, which always feels harder than it should because your legs aren't warmed up. And normally that's a bit of a pain, but I guess in conjunction with what I'm doing today, it's probably a benefit. We've all heard the saying, what goes up must come down, and I suppose the one benefit of doing the seemingly daft thing of seeking out hills is you get to do the downhills and enjoy them while you can. So here's the first of a quick pair of stubborn lumps to grind up, not too steep, but just a start. It's 10% at the moment. There are different ways of tackling hills on a bike, and many of the hills I'll be climbing on Tour de Zoes are steeper than anything around here. So one of the things you can do is go up the hill in a harder gear than you otherwise would. So you have to push harder on the pedals just to keep moving, which kind of replicates going up a hill steeper than it actually is. It strengthens the legs. It does take a bit of mental strength though, as opting for doing something harder than you need to is actually an alien choice to the likes of me. But I'll be doing a bit of that today. This is the town of Atherstone, where just a very short time ago on Shrove Tuesday, Pancake Day, the whole of this high street would have been boarded up and all the shops shut as they continued to play their annual Atherstone Shrove Tuesday ball game, where somebody lobs an enormous ball out of one of these windows, and then for about 4 or 5 hours, hundreds of people scrap and brawl. You have the honour of being the person who has the ball when the whistle goes at the end. Now this tradition has been going on for hundreds of years, I think. So if you wanted an example of just how disruptive the pandemic has been to our lives, last year was the only year it's ever been cancelled, I believe. Only in England. On a multi-day event, part of the trick is not to burn all your matches too early. So equally, going up a hill in an easier gear than you otherwise would have, is also essential in my book. The half hour you might add to the day's ride will be more than compensated for the extra miles you might get out of those tired legs further down the line. And it's also a mental game, as it's natural to want to use a gear that you know you can complete the climb in easily. So it's useful to have a heart rate monitor and have a target maximum heart rate and try to keep below it. It makes you slow down and take the climb more easily than you otherwise might have. So I'll be doing a bit of that today as well, including on Apple Pie Lane, which I'm just about to tackle. The sting in the tail of this particular climb is only really truly revealed when you do it for the first time. Towards the end there up ahead, it's hitting 12-13%, and any climb you're desperate for the end of it, and you can see what looks like the end, and then when you're here for the first time you turn around that corner and your heart sinks as it carries on at about 15% for a little while. Yeah, it's a little toughie. Just try to stay in a big ring as much as I can here. And I'll drop it down. Follow the fly, that's useful. Extra protein. And here we go. The end, but not the end. It's times like this that you do wonder why we do it sometimes. Cheers. So along with Apple Pie Lane, this is my training hill of choice. They call it Steppy Lane, funnily enough, but Steppy Lane is the lane that's a dead end just going up there. It's actually a Pearly Chase Lane, but somebody created a Strava segment called Steppy Lane Climb, and that's what people call it around here. So let's go and do this one. Probably repeat the climb a few times. So for this one I'm just going to stay in the big ring as long as I can, which may not be much longer. It's all about strengthening the leg muscles. Oh God. Yep. Easy gears required. Whew. That's better. 10% in the big ring is not for me. Not for long anyway. So that was my version of the masochistic cyclist. Hills, hills, bloody hills. But it feels good to have done it, I have to say. And the benefit will only be felt when the muscles have stopped aching and I'm out on the bike again. So that's all for now. Like and subscribe if you would. As you know, always grateful for that. Happy cycling, and I'll see you soon.